Okay, I'm making this video on my 2009 Jeep Wrangler JK 4-door. I bought this Smittybilt SRC bumper, and the aesthetics of the bumper are very nice. It's very heavy duty. The thing's built like a tank. It weighs about 110 pounds, and I managed to be able to put it in myself using a floor jack to kind of balance in the center and lift it up in place. But I did have some issues. This bumper is made in China, so I didn't expect too much. I expected some issues with it. And the issues that I did have were with this bracket right here. You have two bolts inside this bracket, and on the inside right here you have two bolts on the other side. I had to grind metal away on both top and bottom, so when you swing the tire carrier open, it will clear those that piece of metal right there. So I had to clear that, make clearance, and I took a black paint pen and I touched over the spots that I had ground away so it wouldn't rust. The other issue was you have like a bracket where a normal trailer hitch would go up. You have 4 bolts. You are to drill those open to 1/2 inch, and then bolts go all the way through the frame in the center, in the back. These holes all line up at 1, so basically I ended up drilling them to 5/8 and then running the bolts through. The one far bolt on the passenger side just would not quite line up. I'd say it was probably off by maybe 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. So I basically had to take it down again, put it back on after I drilled those holes out. The only other issue that I did have was with this latch right here. When you put this latch together, you loosen these bolts or keep them loose, and you make sure that this billet aluminum piece where your handle goes through is nice and tight and snug up to the frame here. You want to make sure that's as close as possible, then you tighten these bolts down nice and snug. And the only other issue that I had was to clear it even further, I had to take a little bit of meat right out of here with my grinder. I have an angle grinder, so I was able to open this just a little bit to allow this little T bracket to slide through that hole. But other than that, I have to push down on it. It's got a little bit of spring to it. The tire's not quite heavy enough for it to slide through that eyelet perfectly, but it works pretty well. And I want some spring on it. I want it to be kind of tight. I don't want any rattles. So other than that, I'm pretty happy with the bumper. And it's got a real good heavy powder coat on it. So I like it. I was able to do all those modifications pretty easy. I have an old '66 Mustang that I mess with. So that's given me a ton of patience with this. So I had it done in about an evening. Tell me what you think.